Soto and Chad here. And Soto, you have no idea why I summoned you right now. I literally just
Oh.
said, "Are you free?" Because I kind of
Mhm.
wanted to do something, and I need a good Soto reaction to it. But let me tell you what I did and what you're in for. I was on
Okay.
ChatGPT, and I was like, "Fuck it!" I had this
Oh.
idea, and I went to ChatGPT, and I asked it.
Uh,
This is the simple prompt that I asked it. Well, I say simple.
uh-huh.
Write a 10-page story. No, I said 10 pages. This is not 10 pages. Don't worry. But I just had to say something. Anyhow, write a story called We Have Thoughts, starring two
Yeah.
lifelong friends in their 40s named Chad and Soto. Somehow
Hmm.
use these title prompts in the story. And I listed all the live podcasts that we did this year. So Don't Fall Apart. It's All Falling Apart. We Will Never Let Go,
Wow.
etc., etc. And that is it. I did not say anything more. I said nothing less. And ChatGPT gave me a 14 chapter story. I say 14 chapters, but each chapter is like a
Really?
paragraph. One's a line. It's not a chapter per se. Like I said, they broke it up into 14 chapters, mainly like the title of some of these podcasts that we did.
Yeah.
But like I said, each chapter is either a
Mhm.
paragraph, and one chapter is even like a line. So don't get scared. But I am going to
Oh,
say chapter one, chapter two, etc. But I will
sure.
just so you get the break. And when we're done this story, and if anyone's listening, I will link you Soto because I had to put this on Google Docs so I can read this a little bit better and format it so I
Hmm.
can kind of scroll easier. But yeah, Soto, let me tell you the story. We Have Thoughts, starring Soto and Chad. Are you ready for
Uh,
this? Are you
okay.
ready?
I'm as ready as I can be. Yep.
Okay, starts off. We Have Thoughts. Chad and Soto had been friends since they were 9 years old. Now in their 40s, they were still doing what they did best, sitting around, overthinking everything, and laughing at how ridiculous life had turned out. They weren't failures exactly. They had jobs, families, and working nonstop on most days, but they
Yeah.
weren't exactly winners either. They were two middle aged dudes with too many memories, too many movies stored in their heads, and way too many unfinished projects. The world might not have
Yeah.
asked for their thoughts, but they had them anyway, and they weren't about to shut up. Chapter
Wow.
1. It was a
That's
Tuesday
deep.
night. That's a good start. Anyhow, Chapter 1. It was a Tuesday night. Chad was sprawled on the couch nursing a beer, while Soto poked through the ancient DVD shelf like an archaeologist trying to decipher a lost civilization. You ever think our whole lives are basically just one long game of Don't Fall Apart? Chad muttered. Speak for yourself, Soto said, holding up the mask like it was a holy relic. I'm held together with duct tape and streaming subscriptions. Chad chuckled. Duct tape works. Look at your car. That's not duct tape, Soto said. That's anime stickers. Chapter 2. It's better, dude. Chapter 2. The conversation drifted, as it always did, from life updates to movies to wild hypotheticals, Soto sighed. Sorry, I kind of read that wrong. Let me rephrase that. Conversation drifted, as
Yeah.
it always did, from file updates to movies to wild hypotheticals. Soto
Hmm.
sighed. You know what I realized? It's all falling apart. My hairline, my video game backlog, my ability to stay up past midnight. Yeah, but
Yeah.
we're still here, Chad said. Still drinking, still laughing, still making fun of Nick Cage. Don't even start, Soto warned. We'll get to what happened to Nick Cage later. That's at least an hour.
What the hell?
Chapter
It's actually
3.
kind of true.
This is true.
It's
Chapter
actually
3.
very true.
Somewhere between their third beer and the pizza delivery, they found themselves
Um,
reciting lines from Titanic. You jump, I jump, remember, Chad said, dramatically placing his hand on Soto's shoulder. Bro, Soto said, mock serious, we will never let go. Unless it's leg day, then I'm definitely letting go. They both broke into hysterical laughter, the kind that hurt in your ribs and made you remember why having a best friend for decades mattered more than anything. Chapter 4.
now I
Good.
remember that because I was like, why the Titanic thing? But yes, we certainly had an episode about never letting
It
go.
was called "We Will Never Let Go." Correct. And yes, they
Oh
literally they put
God.
everything in this one way or another. But it gets better or worse. I don't know. It depends on how you look at it.
I hope an egg salad appears. That's all I have to say. An egg salad
Well,
sandwich.
we egg salad was never in a title. You got to remember this is just the title that we use for YouTube, and I just kind of went quickly.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
So
Gotcha.
unfortunately, spoiler: no egg salads. But anyhow,
Ah.
oh, but other things appear. Soto, don't worry. Chapter 4. Later that night, Soto told Chad about the bizarre nightmare he had. It was like I was at work, but also at Comic-Con, and Nick Cage was my boss, and he kept yelling at me in ghostwriter voice to file TPS reports. Chad grinned. Classic messed up dreams. I had one last week where I was late to your funeral, but the funeral was just you streaming on Twitch from the coffin playing Elden Ring.
Fuck.
Somehow we're on Twitch while you're dead, but all right. That is a messed up dream.
Uh-huh.
Chapter 5. Soto's eyes lit up suddenly. Dude, you realize in a few months we're actually going to Anime Boston 2025? Oh, I haven't forgotten, Chad said. We're going to be the oldest guys there. Except for that one dad in a Vegeta costume. I've already budgeted $400 for manga I won't read, Soto mentioned. And I'll spend half that on food court ramen and regrets.
Yeah.
Food has popped in, Soto.
Pretty accurate. Yeah.
Chapter 6. By the 5th beer, Chad was feeling philosophical. You know what, man? We're money, baby. We survived the 90s, Y2K panic, dial-up internet, and at least 4 failed podcast attempts. Yeah, Soto agreed. We're rich in unfinished creative projects, broke in everything else. Chapter 7. The night blurred into laughter and clinking bottles. They were, after all, the ultimate drinking buddies. Remember when we tried to brew our own beer, Soto asked. Yeah, Chad groaned. Tasted like malt vinegar and regret. We should have named it Divorce in a Bottle.
Wow. Or regrets. Regrets is becoming a common theme here.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be our next episode, The Regrets.
The Regrets. That's what we'll call it. 2 weeks. Anyhow, Chapter 8. The two stared at the wall where a whiteboard still had to-do list. Start podcast written from 3 years ago. Man, Soto muttered, we finished nothing. We've been talking about starting We Have Thoughts since 2019, Chad admitted. Maybe we should just hit record one night. Not plan it, just rant. Chad smirked. Isn't that what we already do?
Yeah.
Chapter 9. The debate began, as always, with a random question. Who'd win in a fight? Ace Ventura or Buddy the Elf, Soto asked. Chad sat up. Oh no, not this again. Jim Carrey versus Will Ferrell. We've had this debate every year since 2004. That's because it's important, Soto said. Society must know. They spiraled into arguments, quoting lines, doing impressions, and eventually launching into the broader subject of cinema. The truth is simple. Wow. We've seen way too many movies, and they loved it.
Mm-hmm.
Chapter 10. At some point in the night, Soto convinced Chad to try hot sauce shots. Within minutes, Chad was crying, gasping for water, and muttering, mistakes were made!
The whole chapter.
That's the one sentence chapter right there.
Oh my God.
That was the mistakes were made chapter. That was it. I was like, all right.
That's like I would be the one saying mistakes were made. I feel like I'm the one that makes the most regret.
Yeah, probably, but you know what? We can't. ChatGPT. This is the story it told.
True. Yeah,
anyhow,
exactly.
We're at chapter 11. Inevitably, the conversation drifted back. You know what? People laugh, Soto said, but Nick Cage, he's like the weather. Sometimes sunny, sometimes a hurricane, but always happening. Chad nodded. Wow. What happened to Nick Cage isn't a question. It's a way of life.
That is really fucking deep and very true. Like
well, we're like 5 years into the story, so yeah, we're at the deep point.
I saw, like, as I was perusing movies to watch last night, I saw more Nicolas Cage options. And you're right. Like, asking what happened to him is a way of life. It's not just, it's an entire vibe. I mean, there's some movies out there that I'm like, really? And I mean, because of Prisoners of the Ghostland, I won't hit play on it.
Nope. Can't anymore. All right, we're getting close to the end. Chapter 12. Soon, the living room looked like a convention floor. DVDs everywhere. Posters rolled out. Snacks half eaten. It was pure movie mania. Chapter 13. Yeah, that was it for chapter 12. Really nothing but set the tone.
Just a setup.
It's just a setup. What more can they do with movie mania without more info? Chapter 13. By 2 a.m., the mood shifted. Soto sighed. You ever feel like we're trapped in some Dungeons of Midlife Crisis campaign? Like our hit points are low, our armor is dead. Or no, excuse me, our armor is a dad bod, and our special attack is knee pain. Chad nodded. Yeah, but we've got co-op mode, and that's what matters.
Wow.
Yeah. Chapter 14. Finally, as dawn threatened the horizon, they sat in silence for a moment. You know what I missed? Chad asked. Dial-up discussions. Back when you had to wait 3 minutes for AOL Instant Messenger to load, and every chat felt like treasure. Not everything's instant, Soto said, but here we are, 40-something, still talking nonsense till sunrise. Maybe that's the real treasure. The two friends clinked their last bottles, the glow of old movies flickering on their tired faces. They had no answers, no big solutions, no million-dollar ideas, but they had thoughts. And after all these years, that was enough. The end.
Yeah. How many beers did they have?
I don't know. It kind of just said 5, but then there's parts where there's still clinking bottles. So they don't know. But dude, we're up till dawn, and I know we'd be pretty much dead by now.
Well, I would be dead for 3 days. There's no way I could recover from that. I'd have to go to the hospital the next day if I did something like that.
Yep. If I'm up past midnight, it's like, nope, I'm suffering the next day. I can't
that
anymore.
Story is like when you and I were both like in our early mid-30s. Yes, I could imagine us doing something like this. But in our mid-40s, pushing towards the back end, no, like no way. No way would I be able to drink that much. Holy crap, I'd be down for the count.
Yeah, most likely. I mean, again, it said 5 beers. I think we could do 5 beers. I mean,
I could definitely do 5 beers, and I do. Yikes for the whole night. I think it's just the length of time thing, right? Like we referenced earlier in the story about staying up past midnight. Like last night, I thought I was staying up kind of late-ish, and it was like 11:50. And as soon as I hit the bed, I instantly passed out.
Mm-hmm. No, I feel you.
Staying up. I mean, like Foxwoods, it's a different thing, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Whenever we get there, yeah. But yeah, so no, that was the story. We have thoughts thought up by ChatGPT about our lives using our podcast titles. And again, that's all I put in. Was just the titles of our podcast. Nothing more, nothing less. No, I didn't explain what they were about. Just the 14, 15 podcast. And it broke it up into chapters itself. I was just like, use these in the story somehow. And that was it.
Wow.
And that is the story it gave us. We were still somehow drinking. We were still talking mostly about movies and dumbass debates. And we have 4 failed podcasts. And I'm like, I don't know how many we've had. 4 might be correct. Well, 1 now.
just the one.
It's all just one. Run into it all just it's all under one tree. It's like the family tree.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. I mean, we were excited when we had 2 viewers yesterday. So
I know people talking. It was like, oh shit, people are talking to us. But yes, I had to share. I was dying laughing reading this, and I had to share it with you. I'm like, Soto, if you got a moment, just get on. I'm like, yeah, I know it could wait, but I'm like, I gotta share the story. It's the story of us, according to ChatGPT.
Yeah, our podcast adventures. How many live podcasts have we had? Is it really 14?
Well, I only did it from this ever since we got the new mics. When like the new era. So we've done 14. This year. I mean, not including football and gaming podcasts. There is definitely way more because if you remember, we were doing stuff on Twitch and YouTube beforehand. But I only inputted the live podcast names that we've done this year. Otherwise, I would I don't know. We could be on like 36 chapters, but I don't know.
Oh my God, I know. All those pizza parlay ones were live, weren't they? Most exciting thing.
Yes, those were. We were doing those on the PlayStation, so I had to know everything in advance so I can kind of go to the next card and stuff like that. I don't know how many total we've had, but I can tell you, if I'm kind of quickly scrolling through if we take away the gaming ones and before the NFL ones, but then we have like the group ones because we did like 8 the year before, casual conversations with Mel and Tengu. We did debates, Star Wars rants with Tengu and Madness, I believe they were both a part of that. So we've done quite a few. And then few that we didn't do live, but we put on YouTube afterwards. So I was just kind of looking through live there. But yeah, this one in particular was just our 14 or 15 that we've done this year since we started doing it live. And yeah, that's what ChatGPT gave us. And I was dying. Yeah, it was. And it was weirdly accurate at some parts that I didn't even have to fill in. I was just like, oh shit. I'm like, AI is always listening. They are listening.
They're coming for us.
Yeah, they are. They are. John Connor, Sarah Connor. We got to find them. But
Yes.
anyhow, that's the story of We Have Thoughts, starring Soto and Chad, according to ChatGPT. Hopefully you liked it. We laughed at it. That's it. That's all I got for you today.
To be continued.
Yeah, because I'm sure we'll fuck around with ChatGPT some more with some more stories. Who knows?
Oh yeah.
But yeah, that was just I had to share that right away. I found that funny as shit. So, but yeah, tune into our next story. Who knows? Who knows where ChatGPT will take us next? Maybe we'll go to space.
Ooh, I like space.